This video might contain some spoilers, so if you haven't seen the first 13 episodes of Daredevil on Netflix, go watch those and then come back and watch this video, please. What's up, everybody? I'm gonna do kind of a casual video just talking about the Daredevil series from Netflix because it's the first Netflix show I've ever watched. I watched all 13 episodes and I thought overall that it was great. I gave it 5 stars on the little Netflix thing, even though I think it's more like a 4-star type thing because I gave it 5 because I want Netflix to definitely make a second season. So that's kind of like my vote. I know it sounds kind of stupid, but I've covered all the other Marvel movies for my YouTube channel. So I wanted to cover Daredevil definitely. And I think some of you probably wanted to see it. So let's get into it a little bit. Daredevil, created by Drew Goddard, who, wrote Cabin in the Woods and directed Cabin in the Woods. And then he also wrote Cloverfield, which are 2 pretty good movies. He did a bunch of other TV show stuff as well. And that led us to Daredevil, which I really like his interpretation. I like the way he did it, even though I think it borrows heavily on the whole Batman, movie thing. It goes the dark direction, which is fine because it's all, in the end, based on Frank Miller crap anyways, right? Sort of, kind of. So that's where I kind of let it off on that. And besides, it was damn good. So let's get into the good things. Like I said, overall, it was great. About 4 or 5 stars I'd give it. Charlie Cox, at first, I didn't really like the way he was looking in the promo materials. Not as Daredevil, but just as himself. I didn't like his haircut. I was like, but you know what? The guy grew on me. By the 13th episode, I was digging him. I kind of understood the affect that he was trying to pull off a little better. He's like the total opposite of Robert Downey Jr. or whatever his damn name is, Iron Man. Instead of being brash and all that, he's very quiet, very reserved. Almost, I was thinking like the affect of a priest, thoughtful, listening all the time. He is listening all the time because he's Daredevil. I just like what they did with that. And of course the whole thing where he's like a Catholic. I went to Irish Catholic school, so Daredevil always played to me as a character because of that. And they really went heavily with that on this show. I like that because it set up a lot of the stuff. I think it can get a little grittier. It was a lot grittier than some of the Marvel movie stuff, which I liked. And then I realized, oh, it's Netflix, so they probably don't have to, pass it past as much of a rating board. It can still be edited for like primetime TV so kids can watch it, but there was a couple gore moments that I liked and some awesome martial arts scenes. Definitely, if you like your martial arts, they mix in some parkour also. Thought it was pretty cool. Daredevil's like a ninja martial arts type of thing, at least the Daredevil I knew. So I was digging it big time. My favorite episode was probably with Stick. Scott Glenn plays Stick, and man, he was freaking awesome. Just freaking the best episode. I thought the Stick episode was the best episode because not only did it bring Stick and it showed that it's not just that he's blind, that he has hyper senses, but it's like he's almost like meditative and he can kind of heal himself by meditating. I really like that idea because it's going to explain his longevity, and Stick kind of made a joke about it in the episode, which I really liked. And then it also opened it up to, Daredevil's like a lowly Marvel character, at least in the Marvel universe, the cinematic one. And he doesn't really understand all the magic and crap that's going on. He's Catholic, he believes in God, but he doesn't really understand the mysticism, the magic, although he's like a minor partaker in it, which is kind of funny. So I'm looking forward to the second season, them having hopefully more ninja martial arts action. Love that stuff. Vincent D'Onofrio, my mom used to always say when I shaved my head, I look like his ass from Full Metal Jacket. That was like her biggest part about hating me with a shaved head. But I gotta love him with a shaved head in this because he's freaking awesome. Not the Kingpin I was expecting at all. They do like a vulnerable Kingpin, and it was cool. It's like a dual story. It's like Daredevil story and then Kingpin story side by side, and they don't even refer to him as the Kingpin the whole time, which I kind of liked. They use his real name, Wilson Fisk, and we find out his origin, even though there's some left in the shadows as well. And it was like this kind of like the origin of both of them. I liked how he was so vulnerable, and I liked how they went into his love story more than they did Daredevil's. And that was one of the biggest things I liked about this too, was that they didn't bog it down with a lot of love interest. You got hints of it, the Rosario Dawson and the other girl, but they just didn't blow it out and waste time with it. It was, kind of a gritty, noirish, the reporter guy trying to find dirty info on Fisk, and it was just like a crime TV show with lots of martial arts. Just kind of reminded me of the martial arts ninja heyday, and I was kind of digging that part. I had it. And that's the best part about Batman Begins, I thought, was the ninja stuff. And then, you had Ra's al Ghul and then Ra's al Ghul or whatever they call him, and then you have Stick. And so it's a lot of, same type of story. So if you like Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, you probably should like this, even though Kingpin's quite a bit different than any of the villains I thought they had in, those movies. And he's one of the better villains I think they've had in the entire Marvel cinematic universe because he's actually somewhat normal. There's something going on too. He has like some sort of powers, but you know, I liked how they explained his suit, so they made it not only part of his style, but you know, the traditional Kingpin, but they also kind of enhanced it a little bit, and then it tied into Daredevil's suit being made, and I really liked how they teased the suit out till the end. I kind of like just the Black Ninja look myself. The actual suit, I liked the way it looked because it looked practical. I'm not sure if I was digging the sculpt on the head 100%. He looks like one of the little action figures that I have. But I like the fact that Daredevil's small. He's not a big, muscular guy. He's kind of like a parkourish gymnast style guy, which I liked. Even though the guy should have probably reddish hair. I always picture Daredevil as a ginger. And then instead they dye his hair like that Dr. Pepper color. God, what else did I say? I liked a lot about this show. Let's get into the bad for a second. Bad. Too much like The Dark Knight. That's the first note I made. And that's basically my biggest complaint. Foggy Nelson kind of bugged the shit out of me. Mostly his haircut. I understand why he's there for the comic relief and, you know, to eventually tie in probably to a love triangle a little bit someplace there or get killed off in a traumatic fashion. But yeah, I didn't like his character too much. Like I said, it's a TV show, so they had to have multiple character arcs going to make the show full, and that worked to its advantage because, you know, you felt for the characters. I just didn't like him. I got his point, but I didn't like him. And then, you know, overall it is like a TV show a little bit. You just kind of, you can just feel the smaller budget. And of course, they have to spread it over 13 hours of TV, so it's like, I kind of wonder like how big Daredevil's going to play into the Marvel Universe. Maybe on Netflix he's going to be big because, you know, I don't know. Because I think they're coming out with Defenders and stuff like that. But they gave him 13 hours of material, even though he's not the main star of every single minute of it because they're building up all these other characters. I was pretty impressed by that. I don't know. So what else can I say about Daredevil? Let me know down below what your favorite episode was. Mine was the Stick episode. Like I said, I love that they hinted to the mysticism in the Marvel Universe, the magic, but they really just didn't go there. They kind of left it, you know, Daredevil doesn't really know, and, you know, we kind of know, so that was really cool. So what was your favorite episode down below? What was your favorite moment? Do you like Daredevil? Did you like Kingpin? Tell me what you think down below, and I'll see you soon with something else. Probably gonna watch Avengers 2 Age of Ultron. I was kind of expecting maybe something like a light tie-in to Avengers 2, but I didn't get that either. So let me know what your thoughts are down below, and if you're excited for Avengers, and if you've ever watched any of my other comic book movie reviews. And I'll see you guys soon. I'll punch the camera.